Hi there to my water dominant people. I almost lost track. So what water dominant means is there's an abundance of water in your astrology chart, right? Right? If you look up your astrology chart on astro.com, you can see the balance of elements there. So if the majority or one of the majority of the elements is water, you're in the right place. Or if you just resonate with the water element, you know that your sun signs of water, maybe your moon and ascendant as well, or you just resonate with water energy, right? You're in the right place. So hopefully there's something here for you. Let's go to Life Loves You cards by Louise Hay and see what we're focusing on this week. You might have other dominant elements as well, so you might want to look at those readings and see if there's anything there for you. So just seeing what we're looking at this week for our earth, or for our water dominance. I am creative. Honor your unique gifts. Think of 3 ways you could express your creativity today. So maybe there's some creative projects pending that you're waiting for them to flesh out, maybe, or you're finding that all your water energy is really wanting a creative outlet right now. Let's go to some oracle cards and flesh that out a little bit. Okay, so unrequited love is coming up. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. So something isn't being reciprocated here. It might be a relationship. It might be interest in your creative project or endeavors. It could also be just an imbalance in relationship currently. Morning affirmations is coming up. Say positive affirmations each morning to open the gates of manifestation. So maybe you're being redirected here, right? So sometimes when we're a creative person and there's a creative project kind of pending and we're building up emotional energy for it, right? The creative energy is kind of accumulating. We might find that we're tempted to give that to a person we see as a muse, right? Or invest it in that friend who keeps taking all of our emotional energy and never kind of gets better, comes to us with the same problem over and over again, right? Or someone who really leads us on in some kind of way and wastes our time, right? Not Judith Orloff. The Artist's Way, Julia Cameron, sorry. Drew a blank for a minute. Julia Cameron talks about in her book, The Artist's Way, time wasters and crazy makers, right? These people who will show up as temptations for us to put our creative energy into them instead of working on the project, right? And we kind of have to learn to have boundaries around our creative projects and our creative work. And also learning not to discuss it when it's in a very fragile state, when it's just in the initial state, right? Because you'll get a lot of wet blankets who will be very critical. How's that going to work? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Well, it's just in the initial phase, and that's very delicate. So we want to have strong boundaries around our creative work and not share it when it's not ready to be shared, right? Particularly with people that aren't encouraging, that aren't in the arena doing the work themselves, and not engaging with these people that just create drama in our life. Our drama's for our art, not in life. So you might be being redirected right now, right? So this rejection, we don't feel like our feelings are being reciprocated. It could be a redirection that, okay, this person doesn't appreciate what I'm offering. Maybe there's a better match for me that would actually be more beneficial for my life, or maybe a bigger audience is awaiting my abilities. So consider that. Let's see. And regrouping every morning with your positive affirmation work. Maybe you've already done that and you fell off a little bit, and that's an encouragement. So spring, the time is now. Springtime is now. If spring is coming out as a timing card, we're in spring right now. Your desires fully manifest as the flowers begin to bloom. So maybe there is something you're working on manifesting here, and there was this distraction, and it's actually a blessing that the timing isn't right for that right now, right? And it is a redirection to focus back on your project or work, creative work, right? And maybe you can use that experience in your work. It could maybe inform the project somehow. Maybe you've already considered that. Let's go to the archetype cards by Carolyn Meese and see what part of you is showing up, wants to take the spotlight, or maybe is lurking in the shadows, creating problems here. Just one card. To see what part is showing up for water dominant people. Angel. Angel. The light attributes of angel: helping those in need with no expectation of return. And then the shadow attributes: acting innocent or angelic to mislead others, falsely claiming to be in touch with angelic guidance. So maybe you have the wrong job description here, right? Maybe that's why relationships tend to fall off, or right? Sometimes creatives, recovering creatives, or people that are learning their power, empowering themselves as creative artists in some way, and creative artists can take many forms. They find themselves, instead of working on creative projects, working on human projects, right? And that usurping all of their energy, just taking up all of their time, attention, and resources as you work on these projects. And oftentimes they show up as romantic partners, potential partners, right? They're not really partners. It's not a partnership. It's you giving and helping and bailing this person out time and time again. If that's showing up, know that the end of this relationship is less of a rejection of you, your worth and value, and more of a redirection to, there's a bigger purpose for this ability. You know, there's something more worthwhile to invest in here, right? That this investment was never going to have a return. And it's okay to feel the loss of that. It's okay to experience the loss, right? And to deal with the emotional aftermath, the emotions that are coming up. As long as you can reset and know that it's not a value judgment on you and what you're offering, right? Or who you are, that this is a blessing. That this person was not the right outlet for this energy, for this creative energy and attention. Let's go to the Alchemical Tarot Renewed by Robert M. Place, one of my brilliant tarot teachers, and see what tarot cards want to kind of flesh out this story a little bit. Doing your morning pages, right? That can be part of the morning affirmations. Julia Cameron, The Artist's Way. I did the journey on this channel. So there's a playlist around The Artist's Way. We do morning pages every day, and we go on artist dates. They might be indoor dates where we go by ourselves and just take in images of art, right? We could watch a movie or go to a museum by ourselves and just take in the images, right? We're fueling the inner artist with images. That can be in nature too, but it's by ourselves, right? So it's just us absorbing this creative potential. And the morning pages help us get the gunk out and just start the process of getting it down, right? So we're just training our minds to get out anything in the morning, first thing in the morning, right? With your morning coffee or whatever it is, breakfast, just getting it all out, like 3 pages in a notebook that you don't really revisit, right? It's just to get it out. It's not a diary. You're not thinking it through. It's just the stream of consciousness to help you get in touch with that stream of consciousness. So you can certainly use those healing morning pages if you're dealing with a loss of a potential partner. Get out anger, frustrations, sadness, grief, whatever it is, right? And then move on to the affirmation work and just how do you want to feel? What do you want to experience? What do you want to manifest? Right? Because creativity is also the manifestation process, right? You're co-creating with co-creative forces. So artists are doing that, right? They're tuning into the energy of a creative work that wants to flow through them, that wants to be birthed through them. So if you resonate with that, and this spring is a fruitful time, right? A fertile time. So it's also Shakespeare's birthday is on the 23rd of April, or was. I'll probably be posting this after. So what is it that you want to put out there? So the first card that comes out is the Four of Pentacles. So this is about investment, right? Planting seeds. So the manifestation process is planting seeds. It's also what are you investing in? You're being redirected, right? That you were making investments in things that weren't worthwhile, that weren't going to be fruitful. So refining what you're investing in is the focus here. And then we're also looking at the Three of Vessels in this deck. The Three of Vessels is about community celebration, working together, celebrating together. Interesting that it's a group of women, right? So that might resonate with you. It's the water element. So maybe finding a group of like-minded people that support your creativity, right? Like a creators support group, for creative types, artists. Then we have the Ace of Vessels. So there's going to be a new beginning here, a new emotional beginning, maybe a new beginning in love, in relationship, right? Because, and interesting that there's grapes, right? It's fruitful. That word came up earlier. So fruitful new beginning, a proper investment, right? Seeing how when, there's connection and community, that all the energy doesn't land on this one person who then redirects it because it's too intense, and it's unrequited, and they might ghost or distance, right, or reject in some way, giving you pushing energy or just disappearing. That having proper support and community will put much less pressure on one situation, right? So then an initial beginning will have more fruit-bearing potential. It will have a fighting chance, right? And if you're focused on investing in projects and people that are worthwhile, right? That are like reciprocal relationships, right? And things that are worthwhile and nourish you. It's a win-win. That's going to be a fresh new start for you with the Ace of Vessels. And then we have the Lady of Vessels, and this could very well be you, right? The Lady of Vessels, water dominant, in balance, right? She's balancing her emotions, balancing the vessel on her head. It's also interesting that this is a water card, right? The vessels is a water element, but the glyphs for the other, or the alchemical symbols for the other elements, are on these vessels, right? Fire, air, and earth. Those are the symbols. So this could also be a balance, right? Symbolizing balancing. They are balancing them on their heads. So balancing through community, feeling support, having a supportive community creates inner balance as well, a balance of the elements. Maybe finding friends who balance you out, right? If you're very water dominant, finding a fiery friend to help balance out some of those heavy emotions, right? An air dominant friend who helps you with communication and detachment, right? Help you detach from this, right? The fiery friend can help with humor and laughing things off too. And then an earth dominant friend who's very nurturing, you know, will feed you and hold you, right? Acts of service to make you feel loved and needed and wanted at this time. Leading to maybe an Eight of Vessels, right? Maybe there's someone who's willing to put in equal amount of effort. Another creator, another creative type, someone similar. Or finally manifesting that creative project, right? Working on that, focusing on that, refining that. And then sharing it with your network. This, the 10 of Vessels, I believe this is, right? Yep. So the 10 of Vessels, this is an obelisk, and it can be related to the internet, a network, a group. So, you know, sharing your work online or with a group of people, and just feeling fulfillment, right? This can also be about interconnection, interconnectedness, and feeling the fulfillment there. And what you were seeking from this one person those needs may be better met by this group, this network, this community, and be more fulfilled through creating. You might find that to be true. I'm going to go to the Angel Therapy cards by Doreen Virtue, just to see if there's any more. And then we'll end it with one last card. But okay. So a couple cards. We have Past Life Issue and Twin Flame. So past life issue, this situation has a basis in one of your previous lifetimes. Ask your angels to help you remember, release, learn, and heal from your past experiences. And in the twin flame, the answer to your question involves a spiritually based romantic relationship. So perhaps the person that you are currently seeking connection with was a past life karmic partner. I don't really know how I feel about labeling these things, but a temporary person, right? Someone who you were resolving karma with, right? That maybe it resolved and it's just now the connection is over, but water dominants tend to get attached, right? Have attachment, particularly if they invest emotionally, right? Which is the currency for water dominant. So you're being shown here that there's a better partner. Someone who has more in common, you have more in common with, right? Someone who maybe is on a similar path. And the way to connect with that person is to align to your purpose, what you're here to do, right? So if this is something that's always kind of escaped you, know that focusing on purpose is the way to go here, particularly for a spiritual partnership. Spiritually based partnership, right? That your purpose is going to come first, and chances are this person is going to have a similar purpose and path as you. So that's in the cards. If you resonate with that, know that focusing on creating this project, right? This project that you're focusing on, or that you have in your heart, but you've always put the focus elsewhere. Know that working towards that is the right move right now. One last card from the Crazy Sexy Love Notes deck by Chris Carr. Wow. Something bigger is on the way. Telling you. Allow your vision to expand and be open to the form it takes. You may discover that you were dreaming too small, or that what seemed like an obstacle is actually pointing you in a better direction. The universe always has your back, right? You're being redirected, not rejected. There's something better, something bigger is on the way. Right? This wasn't about your value. You were playing small. Something bigger is on the way for you. All right? I hope this was helpful and inspiring. So work on that creative project. The timing is now. It's a fertile time for you. Much love to you. And if you have other dominant elements, check out those readings as well. They might resonate. All right? Thanks for liking the video, subscribing to the channel. That's really valuable to me. Working on providing meaningful, inspiring, maybe healing content, even with my own emotional ups and downs during this time, right? So I always focus on service in that way. So I'm hoping that this is helpful. And if you want a personal reading or session, that will be in the description of this video, all right? Many blessings to you and much love to my water dominant people, right? I'll see you in the next reading.